Hello, welcome to Steve Knows. Today it's newsy time and I want to go over some new features, some new tech, Quest 3 enhanced visuals begin, and Quest 2 titles that just do not seem possible, and I hope this starts a trend for stunning visuals. There's also a new security thing that you need to be aware of. So I think that's enough chin wagging, let's get started. So starting off with the Quest Pro, this gets a feature that I wish the Quest 2 got. It's a little annoying, could be because the Pro controllers are individually tracked, and this was announced nearly a year ago for the Pro. So in version 56 that just dropped, it's enabled the ability to use a controller and hand tracking at the same time. Coined multimodal mode that developers can enable in their applications. It can be handy for games like Pistol Whip, where you can use one controller to shoot, but then when you want to interact with other menus and other things, you can type and interact with them with direct touch using your hand still. And I imagine that this will also be on the Quest 3 as a feature, because they have said the Quest 3 is using a combination of hands and controller lights to track the remotes, which is why they feel so comfortable removing the light ring from those controllers. But anyway, the Pro has the jankiest software yet for some reason, and this doesn't redeem it. Since we're on the topic of version 56, which I did touch on in my last video, there's something else that I did not know about in the update. And that is that the Quest gets a hand tracking update. We're now on version 2.2. The last update was 6 blimmin' months ago that improved the recovery period when it lost hand tracking. This update adds FMM, which stands for Fast Motion Mode. It reduces tracking latency up to 40% with general use, and up to 75% improvement for rapid movement. There is also a demo available for you to try out to try these new hand tracking capabilities called Move Fast. Hand tracking has come so far since it first released, but the issue of no feedback is still huge, and that has not been solved. It's a real issue and they're still not solving it. Developers have to enable this feature in their applications, though it doesn't work out of the box. So if you see an update for a hand tracking title, it could be this. Now, this is an epic little piece of research for virtual reality. Well, it's not specifically for VR, but would be amazing for VR. So something called Llama 2, that's with 2 L's, and I'll put it on screen now because it's spelt rather strange. Qualcomm tweeted out that they are working with Meta to get this language model running on devices. This is an open source language model. You may have heard of others like ChatGPT or Bard, but this one is Meta's, which leads to speculation that over the next couple of generations of standalone VR, could this be integrated with the Quest, or be made available on PC VR, or integrated with the Quest 3 as an update? I recently saw a video of Genghis playing Skyrim that had integrated with the ChatGPT, and she was able to have a conversation with characters in game. It was incredible. Ask them anything and they responded. But the annoying thing right now is these language models, or at least this language model, if you want to run it with full precision, it takes 28 gigabytes of RAM, which is just crazy. The Quest is running like 8 or 12. Although people have implemented light versions of these models that have been possible around 3.5 gig. But these models do consume a lot of resources, so perhaps a cloud solution. But if something here was implemented and someone solved the problem, this could be one of the biggest things for VR gaming ever. Being able to have a natural conversation with anybody, a mystery title, the way you could have to elicit certain information from somebody by asking the right questions, being able to just say some stupid words to an NPC and they don't like it and they come after you. It gets me rather excited. Now moving on, it's happening. There is already Quest 3 enhanced titles being announced, starting with The Walking Dead, where they dropped a video of the enhanced version of the game coming to Quest 3 as well as the PlayStation VR 2 version. No idea if the tease they showed though was Quest 3 or not, because it did say captured on PC, but they could have been emulating the Quest 3, or it could have just been PC gameplay, I don't know. But we do know that the Quest 3 provides a significant improvement in graphical power, and Matteo and Bradley recently had a conversation around the tech and speculated that we can expect around 2016, you know, the beginning of PC VR, in that level of visuals, that kind of experience. Hopefully we can expect something like that, which, okay, it's regressive from today when you're running a 4090 on PC, but as a standalone device, that is a massive, massive jump. So I expect high resolution output, more vegetation, better textures, perhaps less fog. Let's hope. Now, talk of the town is a 2-year effort to bring bare knuckle boxing to VR on Quest, PlayStation VR and Steam. This is from Monologic Games, who brought us Ven Adventures, which was such a surprise because that game could not be any different to this one. And what was a bigger shocker is that they said this was a Quest 2 visual capture. And this title is leveraging photogrammetry, which is enabling them to have photorealistic backgrounds. It could also be possible that because of this, the environment could be a single asset, which is a technique for optimization on standalone hardware, which would mean that you can't interact with the environment. And photogrammetry is also CPU heavy, not GPU heavy. And the Quest GPU is actually very capable, especially since Stress Level 0 stated that it was capable for one-to-one physics. It's the GPU that struggles. But since they've taken a huge chunk of the GPU resources away from the environment, is it now using that for the gore system, the character visuals, and it makes it look as incredible as it does on Quest 2 according to the screenshots. This title is going to have a multiplayer option. You're going to be able to fight people all over the world. There's also a single player mode where you can face off against 16 opponents to become the champion. Wow, right? There's just no word, just wow. I hope it plays as well as it looks. It doesn't look well though, does it? I hope it plays as good as it looks. There we go. Next, the Quest Pro is being cancelled. You may have heard through the grapevine, but this is not true. Although it's pretty darn believable, isn't it? Granted. So Boz spoke out to squish these rumors that some news outlet twisted and included the fact that the future releases of the Pro would not be happening either. But Meta told me to my face that the Pro will be a testbed for the latest tech that should trickle down into the general consumer devices. So it didn't make complete sense for their testbed to be removed, especially because they can attempt to recoup some money spent on research. And Bosworth said, "Don't believe everything you see," which I find so amusing because the CTO of a metaverse company told me not to believe what I see. Now, something you need to be aware of, a new feature that will be used behind the scenes that has just been dropped by Meta called the anti-abuse solution that will prevent game piracy. It leverages the integrity attestation API to detect applications communicating to the server and determine if they've been tampered with. If something is discovered to be a miss, you could run the risk of having the headset banned from using certain applications, but it also has the benefit of protecting you as a user as well, where it can ensure security breaches are caught on your device and protect your data. No idea how it's doing it. Perhaps it's using a hash on the source code and then it's doing a match with the server. I don't know, but if you're being funny with your applications, it may be time to stop so you don't lose access to your device. Just a warning. It's more important that you get to play VR. And finally, Cat VR just announced another consumer treadmill, a cheaper consumer treadmill that's going to be available pre-sale below $1,000, just $900. And I say just, it's still pretty expensive, even with delivery being cheaper as well because they've solved some shipping issues. But it is more affordable than the previous versions. This offer is going to last until the 15th of September. I'll leave Beardo Benjo's video down below in the description. He goes in depth and gives tons and tons of footage of different games and the treadmill as well. So that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Please consider subscribing. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Happy gaming. Good day.